Ladies and gentlemen, a brief message from the President of the United States.
My fellow citizens, today all of us have greater responsibilities than ever before to ourselves and to the rest of the free world. We must live up to those responsibilities. We must build a secure life for ourselves at home, and we must work toward lasting peace for the world. It is up to all of us to decide the kind of government we want and to decide who our representatives will be in government. You, the people, choose your representatives by voting at the polls in free elections. That is our right, guaranteed us by our Constitution. Ours is a government of and by and for the people. Our future welfare is in the hands of the voters. Do your duty as free citizens. Go to the polls and vote on Election Day. Vote your convictions, your faith, your hopes. Vote on Election Day.
My fellow Americans, this is the Secretary of the Treasury, John W. Snyder, speaking. Ours is a country of free enterprise and independent thought. Throughout history, the goal of individual freedom has been the most dynamic motivation known to man. But freedom is something which requires continual, unremitting effort to maintain. Election Day this year again puts this duty squarely up to us. In this country, every citizen has a right to choose his own job. Every citizen has the right to choose and to vote for his own political party or for the candidates he prefers. Vote for the political party and the candidates of your choice, but be sure to vote. Wherever else you may go on Election Day, be sure that you go to the polls and cast your vote.
My fellow Americans, this is Attorney General J. Howard McGrath speaking. This year we hold a most important election, choosing the men and women who will represent us in our government at a time when we face serious international and domestic problems. Possibly more than ever before, it is important that all of us participate in our government by exercising our sacred right to vote. We must keep our nation strong in the face of alien ideologies and foreign aggressions. Voting is more than one of our great advantages as free Americans. It is one of our duties as good and loyal citizens. To play your part in your government, vote for the candidates of your choice. Vote on Election Day, November 7th.
My fellow citizens, this is Postmaster General Jess Donaldson speaking. In our democracy, a great many things, precious things, are available to the greatest number of people. Things like our postal system. For a 3-cent stamp, we can send a letter anywhere in our whole vast country. But because such things come so easily to us, we have a tendency, all of us, to take them for granted. We take our corner post office for granted. And too many of us take for granted our right to vote. Voting is more than a privilege. It's a responsibility. Go to the polls on Election Day. Vote for the candidates of your choice, for the party of your preference. Don't take democracy for granted. Vote on Election Day.
My fellow citizens, this is Secretary of the Interior Oscar Chapman speaking. One of the duties of my office is to deal with the people who live in the various territories and possessions of the United States. As you know, none of our territories has a full voice in the affairs of our federal government. 2 territories are now seeking statehood so that their people might have the right to vote on federal matters and have full representation in our national government. You and I have full citizenship. We have the right to vote for all candidates for all public offices. It is therefore important that we make full use of this privilege, that this election we go to the polls and cast our ballots. We must vote according to conscience for candidates of our individual choice. The important thing is that all of us vote. Vote on Election Day.
This is Charles Brannan Secretary of Agriculture. I want to urge farmers and all eligible citizens to use one of the most precious rights enjoyed by any people anywhere in the world, the right to vote for the men and women of our choice to represent us in our government. In some parts of the world where farmers are a separate class and do not enjoy equal opportunities with their fellow citizens, people seem to think it is perfectly natural that they should participate less in their government. But in the United States, we believe in political, economic, and social equality for all, and we back it up with the ballot. The ballot is the symbol as well as the instrument of democracy. Let us honor it, and let us use it on Election Day.
My fellow citizens, this is the Secretary of Commerce, Charles Sawyer. Our people and our nation face great responsibilities, but we know that the United States has and will always live up to its responsibilities, both at home and abroad. Each of us has a part to play, and one of our prime duties is to support our way of life by voting for the candidates of our choice for public office, both national and local. Government by the people calls for effort by the people. You govern when you vote, and only then. Express your opinions and exercise your franchise on Election Day. Go to the polls and vote.
My fellow citizens, this is Secretary of Labor, Maurice Tobin speaking. Ours is a young, vigorous, strong, and free country. You, the people, have made it that way and must keep it that way. This is not true in many parts of the world today. We have free elections in which you, the people, regardless of what you do or where you work, have the right to think independently and to choose your own representatives in government. You protect that right only by living up to it, by voting in our free elections for the party and for the candidates of your own choice. More than ever before, we must do our duty and vote. This election day, go to the polls and be sure to vote.